When you think of Canada, you might picture mountains and maple syrup. But one province holds secrets that could completely change your mind. Ontario contains nearly a third of the world's surface freshwater, with over 250,000 lakes scattered across its landscape. Deep beneath the surface lies the oldest water source on Earth, isolated for 2 billion years longer than the existence of multicellular life. The Path underground tunnel system transforms it into the world's largest underground city, where thousands of people live day after day without seeing the sun. Come explore what lies beneath the surface, both literally and figuratively. Did you know that Niagara Falls is not the tallest waterfall in the world? What makes Niagara Falls so impressive is the amount of water flowing over. Most of the tallest falls in the world have very little water flowing over them. It's the combination of height and volume that makes Niagara Falls so breathtaking. During peak hours, over 6 million cubic feet of water cascade over the falls every minute. The Niagara River and the entire Great Lakes Basin of which it is a part is a legacy of the last ice age. 18,000 years ago, southern Ontario was covered by ice sheets 2 to 3 kilometers thick. As the ice sheets advanced southward, they gouged out the basins of the Great Lakes. Then, as they melted northward for the last time, they released vast quantities of meltwater into these basins. Our water is fossil water. Less than 1% of it is renewable on an annual basis, the rest left over from the ice sheets. The startling green colour of the Niagara River is a visible tribute to the erosive power of water. An estimated 60 tonnes of dissolved minerals are swept over Niagara Falls every minute. Niagara Falls is an enormously popular tourist destination, and it also serves as a major source of electricity for Ontario. The waters of the Niagara River are used by a combined Canada-United States population of more than 1 million people. Open 365 days a year, Niagara Falls State Park lives up to its reputation as a natural wonder of the world. Now, before we move on to the next destination, here's a fun question for you. What city in Northern Ontario is known as the nickel capital of the world? Comment your answer below. Nestled in the heart of eastern Ontario, the Rideau River flows as a vital thread through Canada's natural and cultural landscape. Stretching 146 kilometres in length, this remarkable waterway begins its journey from Upper Rideau Lake and flows northward to meet the Ottawa River at the spectacular Rideau Falls. The river's distinctive name comes from explorer Samuel de Champlain, who in 1613 named it Rideau, inspired by the curtain-like appearance of its dramatic waterfalls. Long before European arrival, Indigenous peoples knew the river and used it as a crucial transportation corridor. Following the War of 1812, the vulnerability of the St. Lawrence River to American attacks made finding an alternative transportation route between Kingston and Montreal a pressing priority. Lieutenant Colonel John By designed and oversaw the ambitious project that would transform the Rideau River into part of the historic Rideau Canal system. Construction began in 1826 with up to 2,000 labourers working through 5 summer seasons. Many Irish workers facing tremendous hardship and succumbing to malaria in the virgin forest. The engineering marvel required 47 locks to manage the dramatic elevation changes, lifting vessels 83 metres from the Ottawa River to Upper Rideau Lake at the summit. Today, the Rideau Canal system stands as the oldest continuously operated canal in North America, earning UNESCO World Heritage Site designation in 2007. In winter, part of the canal in central Ottawa transforms into a 7.8 kilometre skating rink, the world's largest, with the surface area of 90 Olympic rinks. If you're watching this, please click the subscribe button in the corner of the screen. It's completely free, but it means a lot to us. Albion Falls is one of the most picturesque waterfalls in the region and one of the city's most popular. Albion Falls is a step jewel, classified as a cascade as it ripples over the Niagara Escarpment. It is almost as wide as it is tall. It is visible from 2 viewing platforms, but there is currently no access to the bottom. Rocks from around the falls were used in the construction of Hamilton's famous Rock Garden, a National Historic Site at Hamilton's Royal Botanical Gardens. From the heart of downtown Ottawa, nature lovers can escape to Gatineau Park in just 15 minutes, bridging the gap between urban life and wilderness. This expansive 361 square kilometre conservation park stretches north and west from the city of Gatineau in Quebec, serving as the largest green space in the National Capital Region. As Canada's second most visited park, Gatineau Park welcomes outdoor enthusiasts year-round to engage in recreational activities that respect the environment. Visitors can swim in pristine lakes, hike scenic trails, cycle through forests, camp under the stars, or glide across nearly 200 kilometres of cross-country ski trails during winter. Among the park's standout attractions is the Mackenzie King Estate, constructed in 1903 by Canada's 10th Prime Minister, featuring restored cottages and peaceful wooded paths. The Champlain Lookout offers breathtaking panoramic views from high atop the Eardley Escarpment, especially stunning during fall when the leaves change colour. Pink Lake stands out as one of the park's most unique features, a mirromictic lake where top and bottom layers never mix, creating a striking green appearance from algae. Managed by the National Capital Commission, Gatineau Park is both a sanctuary for over 100 at-risk species and a peaceful oasis for people. Manitoulin Island is a very special place. Nestled in the heart of the Great Lakes region, Manitoulin Island is the largest freshwater island in the world. Locally known in Ojibwe as Spirit Island, it has 4 main rivers, each providing spawning grounds for trout and salmon. 40 years ago, there was one signature hiking trail on Manitoulin Island. Now, virtually every community boasts its own unique and scenic hiking trail. Home to 6 Anishinaabe First Nations communities, Manitoulin has a rich Indigenous culture. Visitors to the island will find many opportunities to camp, hike, fish, or swim at a variety of beautiful beaches along the shores of Lake Huron. Enjoy the island's stress-free holiday environment where life moves at a slower pace and time and water flow gently together. Awaken to the awesome beauty of an island sun rising over crystal clear lakes warming azure waters and inviting you to enjoy endless shoreline. Exchange city pollution for a winter wonderland vacation on Manitoulin Island. There's an invisible line that you cross when you approach the city of North Bay. Crossing this line can expand your horizons and create memories that will last a lifetime. You'll be immersed in adventure, culture, and a lifestyle that every human secretly craves. North Bay has been historically considered the gateway of the North. One of the greatest things about living in North Bay is the quality of life. North Bay is nestled between two of northeastern Ontario's most stunning lakes and surrounded by forests. It is a modern city with its own unique values and features. Located 3.5 hours north of Toronto, North Bay is surrounded by the beauty of nature, art, and culture, and offers something for everyone to experience. The waterfront area is a focal point in North Bay for both tourists and residents. The city features more than 85 kilometres of hiking trails, including the scenic Kate Paceway that follows the shores of Lake Nipissing. Over 300 of Ontario's 500 plus bird species have been spotted in North Bay, making it a paradise for nature enthusiasts and bird watchers. The Welland Canal, originally constructed in 1829, stands as one of the amazing man-made wonders of the world. Built to link Lake Erie with Lake Ontario and offer ships a safe detour around Niagara Falls. The city's motto is "Where rails and water meet," referring to the two prevalent means of transportation that shaped its identity. Welland's history dates back to 1788, when the area was settled by United Empire Loyalists, who were granted land as compensation for losses during the American Revolutionary War. In 1973, the new Welland Canal bypass opened for ship traffic, and the old downtown section was transformed into a recreational waterway and world-class rowing course. Each June, the city celebrates the Rose Festival, which culminates in the Rose Festival Parade, earning Welland its nickname as the Rose City. Welcome to Georgian Bay Islands National Park. Located in the world's largest freshwater archipelago, home to thousands of years of Indigenous history. Here, rich ecological diversity spans dense deciduous forests to the granite outcrops of the Canadian Shield. Georgian Bay tucked into Ontario's Lake Huron. At 5,792 square miles, it's not that much smaller than Lake Ontario, earning it the nickname the Sixth Great Lake. With more than 1,240 miles of greyish-pink granite shoreline, it is part of a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve and a summer freshwater playground for boaters, anglers, and kayakers. By early September, when the summer cottage crowd is headed home, the bay is quiet, yet the water and air are still warm enough for kayaking and canoeing. This is the time to rent a canoe and paddle out among the bay's 32 historic lighthouses and 30,000 islands, which form the world's largest freshwater archipelago and Georgian Bay Islands National Park. Definitely navigate the archipelago to see the islands. They are accessible by water only, and while you could motor through on a cruiser, gliding ashore silently in a kayak or canoe just feels right. Would you visit this amazing place? Comment 1 if you've been, or 2 if it's on your bucket list. Lake Ontario, known as the Lower Lake, sits below the 380-foot escarpment that creates Niagara Falls. The falls kept Lake Ontario separate from the rest of the lakes until the 1830s with the first Welland Canal. This isolation and its natural connection to the Atlantic Ocean via the St. Lawrence River made the Lake Ontario region a natural first for development by European settlers. The first steamboat to operate on the Great Lakes cut through Ontario's waters in 1817. The Lake Ontario region, a great industrial innovator, recognised its own assets and exploited them to grow as a community. The cataracts at Niagara were overcome with the construction of the Welland Canal, which opened up cost-effective trade between the Lake Ontario and its neighbours. Over time, a series of canals were constructed, culminating in the St. Lawrence Seaway system, being opened in 1959, truly opening the Great Lakes to a world economy. Algonquin Provincial Park is a magnificent natural paradise of lush maple and fir woodlands, spring wildflower meadows, sparkling lakes, and plentiful wildlife. Established in 1893, it was the first provincial park in Ontario and is one of the oldest in Canada. The park is considered part of the border between Northern Ontario and Southern Ontario. The park is in an area of transition between northern coniferous forest and southern deciduous forest. This unique mixture of forest types and the wide variety of environments in the park allows the park to support an uncommon diversity of plant and animal species. Algonquin Park is the only designated park within the province of Ontario to allow industrial logging to take place within its borders. It is also an important site for wildlife research. This iconic park is a year-round destination for hiking, canoeing, camping, and snowshoeing, attracting outdoor enthusiasts of all kinds. Autumn is a beautiful season to visit Algonquin Provincial Park. The colours of the forests are spectacular. The autumn colours in this park are even more spectacular than those in any other place. Don't leave away just yet, because the next destination might impress you even more. In the traditional territory of the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, this scenic park features towering cliffs of the Niagara Escarpment, plunging into the blue waters of Georgian Bay. World-famous hiking in a rugged landscape, home to orchids, ferns, and black bears. Bruce Peninsula National Park is one of the largest protected areas in southern Ontario. It's famous for rugged natural cliffs and rocky caves that rise out of the turquoise waters of Georgian Bay. Situated on 156 square kilometres, the park sits atop the Niagara Escarpment with spectacular views and vistas. Established in 1987 and operated by Parks Canada, Bruce Peninsula National Park provides visitors with incredible outdoor experiences. From extensive hiking trails to stargazing and winter camping. The coastline of Bruce Peninsula National Park is rugged with various rock formations. The grotto is one of the more picturesque rocky landscapes. The rugged and rocky coastline with vistas for beautiful panoramic views is the highlight. Most people visit the Bruce Peninsula for an escape into nature. The jagged coastline is part of the larger Niagara Escarpment. The fresh, clear waters invite swimming, while the densely wooded areas attract the hikers. To protect a pristine wilderness from encroachment, Canada created this park as an escape for visitors. Big Tub Harbour is renowned for its crystal clear waters and historical shipwrecks, making it a prime destination for diving enthusiasts from around the world. Tobermory is home to two breathtaking harbours, lovingly named Little Tub and Big Tub, offering a naturalist's paradise where photography, diving, hiking, and kayaking are readily available. Located in Tobermory, Ontario, Big Tub Harbour is part of the Fathom 5 National Marine Park. The harbour is home to two famous shipwrecks, the Sweepstakes and the City of Grand Rapids, which lie in shallow waters at depths of just 20 feet and are easily accessible to snorkelers and divers. Located near the iconic Big Tub Lighthouse, which has stood since 1885, this site features shallow waters and clear visibility that make it an ideal spot for beginners. Big Tub Harbour offers the atmosphere of a quiet village, rich in historical charm as a fishing village, where the natural beauty of the shoreline has been preserved for visitors to enjoy. Discover why Tobermory is known as the scuba diving capital of Canada, where Big Tub Harbour offers an unforgettable blend of maritime history and natural beauty. We gather info from many sources. If something seems off, or you've got more to add, drop a comment. Niagara-on-the-Lake holds deep historical significance as the first capital of Upper Canada, where the first provincial parliament was convened at Navy Hall in 1792. The town was originally known as Butlersburg, then Newark when it became a British military site, and haven for loyalists fleeing the United States after the American Revolution. After American soldiers razed it during the War of 1812, the undaunted citizens rebuilt strategically, placing the residential quarter out of range of Fort Niagara's cannons. Today, nestled in the corner of the Niagara region just beyond Niagara Falls, the picturesque Niagara-on-the-Lake epitomizes Old Town charm. Known by locals as NOTL, this must-visit village is bordered on both sides by waterfront. The area boasts close to 40 wineries, most with award-winning vintages, international accolades, and distinct Niagara tastes. Located only 20 kilometres from the Horseshoe Falls, it's the perfect day trip during your getaway to Niagara Falls. Once a cliff face carved by nature some 8,000 years ago, the Niagara Glen has evolved into one of the most unique hiking destinations in the Niagara region. Niagara Glen Nature Reserve is a magnificent natural treasure that not everyone who visits Niagara Falls knows about. Designated as a nature reserve since 1992, the Glen is a pristine pocket of Carolinian forest deep in the Great Gorge, where over 490 vulnerable plant and animal species call this ancient forest home. Niagara Glen is more than just an enchanting autumn forest, it is a convergence of geology, ecology, and history. Along the bright aqua-coloured Niagara River, hikers can hear the roaring water, while choosing between open river views with fascinating rock formations. Adventure seekers can try bouldering on carved rock formations that represent thousands of years of geological history. Unlike the image of crowded and bustling Niagara Falls, Niagara Glen is the quiet, profound soul of this land. Grimsby is a town on Lake Ontario in the Niagara region, Ontario. Grimsby's history stretches from the early neutral First People settlement to the Loyalist arrivals at 40 Mile Creek in the 1780s, shaping a strong sense of community that endures today. Following the Heritage Highway route allows visitors to explore these routes and understand Grimsby's place in Canadian history. The town was the site of the first municipal meeting in Upper Canada in 1790, and the location of the pivotal engagement at the Forty during the War of 1812. Grimsby was incorporated as a village in 1876 and became a town in 1922, with historic reminders of its heritage found throughout the community. In the 1910s, the area evolved into an amusement park. That attracted visitors from across North America, and each August it hosted the Emancipation Day picnic. Parliament Hill serves as home to Canada's federal government, where representatives from across the nation gather to make laws that shape the lives of every Canadian. Yet this 9-hectare site represents far more than just a political centre. It stands as the symbolic heart of the nation. The Gothic Revival buildings of Parliament Hill, situated on the Ottawa River, deliberately reflect the history of parliamentary democracy. Construction began in 1859 after Queen Victoria selected Ottawa as the capital, with the original buildings officially opening on June 6, 1866. Tragedy struck on February 3, 1916, when a devastating fire destroyed the centre block, sparing only the magnificent Library of Parliament thanks to quick-thinking clerks who closed the fire doors. The rebuilt centre block, completed in 1927, combined Gothic Revival with Beaux-Arts influences and featured the iconic Peace Tower as a memorial to fallen First World War soldiers. Today, Parliament Hill attracts approximately 3 million visitors annually who come to celebrate, protest, or simply explore the grounds. The surrounding open grounds, a rarity among national parliaments, provide Canadians with a public space to gather for important moments in the nation's history. The Parliament buildings have been designated as a National Historic Site since 1976. Recognised as one of the world's finest examples of Gothic Revival architecture. Since 2002, an extensive multi-billion-dollar renovation project has been underway to restore and modernise these historic structures for future generations. The Cheltenham Badlands site is one of Ontario's geological treasures. The removal of trees and early farming caused rapid erosion of the shale, creating the iconic ridge and gully landscape now recognised as the Cheltenham Badlands. This site has been preserved as a natural heritage landmark, drawing visitors from around the world to view its striking geological features. Most people think they know what a major North American city looks like. But Toronto quietly rewrites those expectations in surprising ways. The city sits on the northern shores of Lake Ontario and serves as Canada's financial and commercial centre. Toronto's true distinction lies in its people, a cultural tapestry woven from over 200 ethnic origins, with half the population born abroad, unmatched on the continent. Despite being North America's fourth largest city, Toronto is truly an urban jungle, with forests covering over a quarter of its land and more than 10 million trees. Over 180 languages echo through its streets, making it one of the most linguistically diverse places on Earth. The city hosts over 8,000 restaurants. Dining at a different one each night would take 22 years to complete the circuit. Bold architecture and an expansive waterfront with the iconic CN Tower define its skyline. Powerful storms in 1852 and 1858 forever changed the landscape, severing the Toronto Islands Peninsula from the mainland. Toronto's leaders have worked successfully to protect the city's heritage. and residents' quality of life from the effects of unrestrained development. This is a city that refuses to be defined by a single identity, instead embracing every culture, language, and dream that arrives on its shores. Oakville is a beautiful lakeside town nestled on the shores of Lake Ontario. Perfectly positioned between Toronto and Niagara. Known for its picturesque harbours, vibrant shopping districts, and excellent dining options, Oakville offers the charm of a small town with the energy of a city. The town is located on the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. Founded in 1857 by Colonel William Chisholm, Oakville grew from early shipbuilding routes at the mouths of the 16 Mile and Brunt Creeks. Today, visitors can enjoy over 1,400 hectares of parkland, hundreds of kilometres of trails, and more than 200 parks spread throughout the community. Oakville celebrates both its past and present. Discover Oakville, a culturally vibrant, green and relaxed hidden gem, perfect for a slow-paced escape. St. Catharines, proudly recognised as the largest city within the Niagara region, is affectionately known as the Garden City, a fitting title inspired by its abundant gardens, sprawling parks. Within its city limits, more than 4 square kilometres of lush green spaces invite both residents and visitors to reconnect with nature, offering peaceful retreats amid urban life. Situated on the picturesque Niagara Escarpment, the city enjoys a unique landscape that plays a crucial role in supporting both tourism and agriculture. This captivating geography, paired with its rich heritage, makes St. Catharines a compelling destination for travellers seeking both relaxation and discovery. The city's roots stretch back to 1779 when it was first settled. It evolved over the decades, becoming an incorporated town in 1845 before officially achieving city status in 1876. This region has long been a place where newcomers find a warm reception and opportunities to integrate. Supported by numerous community and cultural organisations that enrich local life. St. Catharines offers a perfect blend of natural beauty, dynamic urban living, and welcoming warmth, making it an essential stop on any journey through Ontario. Mississauga is known for its vibrant art scene, historic villages, diverse culinary offerings, expansive recreational parks, and major shopping centres. It is the 3rd largest municipality in Ontario by population and the 6th largest in Canada, located just west of Toronto and home to the country's busiest airport. Incorporated in 1974, the city traces its roots back to 1806, when settlers purchased the land from the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. While its skyline and waterfront may be more understated than neighbouring Toronto's, Mississauga offers plenty to discover along the shores of Lake Ontario. As Canada's main gateway for international travellers, the city rewards those who stay with over 500 parks, rich in wildlife and green space. This cultural diversity shapes a lively calendar of markets, festivals, and everyday experiences. Together, Mississauga's cultural richness and natural landscapes make it a dynamic and welcoming city to explore. The town of Parry Sound is the world-renowned jewel of the 30,000 islands on Georgian Bay, hugging the shores of the world's largest freshwater archipelago. In 2004, UNESCO designated the region as a World Biosphere Reserve. The the Georgian Bay Minidougami Biosphere Region. It is said to be the location of the world's deepest freshwater port, making it a vital maritime hub for over a century. Visitors can explore the famous 30,000 islands aboard the Island Queen cruise. If you're looking for an outstanding vacation destination, you'll find it all in Parry Sound. Connect with nature and experience the exceptional beauty of Eastern Georgian Bay. It is often remarked that Ottawa possesses an instantaneous appeal, capable of captivating travellers and making them feel enamoured with the city upon their initial visit. The capital boasts stunning natural landscapes and a peaceful ambience that defies typical expectations of a bustling metropolitan centre. Historic architectural landmarks stand throughout the city, including the Parliament buildings that serve as the heart of Canada's political life. Queen Victoria selected Ottawa to become the capital of the province of Canada in 1857, a decision that surprised many at the time. Before receiving this designation, Ottawa was known as Bytown, a small logging settlement with a population of only about 7,700 people. Today, Ottawa has grown to become Canada's fourth largest city, with a population exceeding 1 million in the metropolitan area. The cultural uniqueness of Ottawa stems from remarkable diversity, with nearly 25% of residents having roots in Asian, Middle Eastern, and European countries. Because of its location between English-speaking Ontario and French-speaking Quebec, Ottawa ranks as one of the most bilingual cities in the country. Driven by the warmth and hospitality of its residents, Ottawa maintains a welcoming atmosphere for all newcomers and visitors. Ottawa captivates visitors with its unique charm, transforming one of Canada's most beloved destinations. Every street corner in Kingston tells a story, from its days as Canada's first capital in 1841 to its present role as Ontario's 10th largest metropolitan area. The city sits at the northeastern end of Lake Ontario, where the St. Lawrence River begins and the Cataraqui River meets the Rideau Canal. Kingston earned the nickname Limestone City because many heritage buildings were constructed using local limestone. With a population exceeding 132,000, Kingston offers a well-balanced lifestyle that blends career opportunities with community engagement. The city has the most museums per capita in Canada and hosts lively summer festivals throughout the year. While the city got its start as a mining town, the nickel capital of the world is now Northern Ontario's biggest city and a popular destination for visitors. The asteroid impact that formed Sudbury's vast crater 1.849 billion years ago also filled it with a magma reservoir rich in nickel, copper, gold, and platinum. In 1883, nickel-copper ore was discovered during construction of the Canadian Pacific Railway, leading to development of the nearby Murray Mine. Early ore was shipped to the United States for refining, where the process produced a pinkish-grey material that turned out to be nickel. Can a city's century-long fate be born from both a cosmic collision and a chance discovery? Sudbury's rise as the nickel capital suggests it can. Built between 1911 and 1914, Casa Loma was the dream home of financier Sir Henry Pellet. The name Casa Loma translates to house on the hill in Spanish, aptly describing its elevated position in Toronto. Casa Loma offers a unique glimpse into Toronto's past, combining rich history with stunning architecture. As one of the city's most visited landmarks and North America's only castle, it provides an immersive experience through its lavish interiors, secret tunnels, and expansive gardens. Inspired by European castles, the owner Henry Pellet employed actual stonemasons from Scotland and 400 tradesmen to build Casa Loma. The entire building took 3 years to finish. Casa Loma's imposing appearance has attracted many a film and television production crew, so that visitors may have seen it many times on the silver screen. Whitefish Falls isn't big, and the falls themselves aren't even that spectacular. But this is one of those waterfalls that is elevated by the stunning scenery in which it is located. The falls cascade through a narrow notch in stunning white quartzite bedrock, formed 2.2 billion years ago, creating a distinctive contrast from the typical granite geology of northern Ontario. The waterfall is partially hidden under the Highway 6 bridge, as well as the bridge for the recently abandoned CP rail line. The river crashes down a narrow bedrock notch, foaming and boiling the rest of its way to a small bay below. Framed by Algonquin Park's wilderness to the east and Georgian Bay's rugged shores to the west, Muskoka ranks among Canada's top vacation destinations. Muskoka is known for endless natural beauty that provides the perfect backdrop for adventure or escape. The area is renowned for lakeside cottages, mature mixed forests, rocky shorelines, and iconic parks. Rocks in Muskoka have been dated back 1.5 billion years, thought to represent part of the initial crust of the Earth. Enjoy opportunities to glimpse a moose, beaver, or graceful blue heron. Striking landscapes, abundant wildlife, and charming lakeside communities make Muskoka one of Ontario's most cherished natural playgrounds. Caledon Lake is easily the largest lake in all of Caledon, which isn't known for having lakes of any significant size. Given the size of the lake, you would think it would be a little more well known, yet it isn't. Because Caledon Lake is mostly a private lake, with no easy public access to this lake. The lack of public shoreline has kept this gem hidden and tranquil, reserved for its fortunate shoreline residents. Lake Erie was carved out by glacier ice and went through many phases before its current form, which is less than 4,000 years old. The lake was named after the Erie tribe of Native Americans who lived along its southern shore, while the neutral Indians lived along the northern shore until both tribes were conquered by the Iroquois. French-Canadian explorer Louis Joliet was likely the first European to see Lake Erie in 1669, when the Iroquois inhabited the region. Lake Erie is the warmest of all the Great Lakes, and the fourth largest when measured in surface area. Its shallow waters warm quickly in spring and freeze over in winter. Lake Erie has been dubbed both the walleye capital of the world, with nearly 1.5 million fish caught annually. The North Shore is dotted with charming small towns like Port Dover, Kingsville, and Leamington, where visitors can explore wineries, beaches with some of the warmest waters, and local restaurants. Built in stages starting in 1882 as a woolen knitting mill, this historic building has witnessed over a century of transformation along the Credit River. Converted to a rubber factory making balloons, rubber gloves, and prophylactics in the 1930s. It adapted to the changing industrial needs of the era. The facility stopped operations in the 1970s after serving as the longest-running water-powered mill on the Credit River system, marking the end of an industrial legacy. After sitting dormant for decades, the building found new life when it was converted into an arts centre over a period from 1999 to 2009. Restoration of the main part of the building took 3 painstaking years from 2006 to 2009. Carefully preserving its heritage character while modernising its functionality. The ambitious project won national awards for adaptive reuse from the National Trust and the Canadian Association of Heritage Professionals, as well as provincial and local awards recognising its excellence. Today, the centre has visual artists, studios and galleries that showcase local talent, but also features event spaces for performing arts and private functions. Northern Ontario's Boreal and Great Lakes St. Lawrence forest regions are internationally known for their fantastic displays of colourful fall foliage. The conical coniferous trees like pine, spruce and fir, which remain green year-round, provide a stunning contrast to the warm hues produced by the area's deciduous trees, like aspen, balsam poplar, and of course, maple, and the result is nothing short of magical. Northern Ontario's colours begin in early September, peaking by late September, earlier than the rest of the province. This brilliant autumn spectacle, a vivid contrast to summer's greens, is orchestrated by a complex interplay of chemicals and environment. The landscape bursts into vibrant reds, oranges and yellows from mid-September to mid-October, with some variations depending on the region. The crisp air, clear skies and the serene beauty of the changing leaves make it the perfect season for outdoor adventures. So there you have it, Ontario in all its magnificent, unpredictable glory. This isn't just another province on the map, it's a living. The stories whispered by ancient forests, the energy crackling through bustling streets. They're all waiting to become part of your own narrative. Ontario doesn't demand that you see it all at once. It invites you to return again and again, peeling back new layers with each visit. This province has a peculiar way of surprising you when you least expect it. The question isn't whether Ontario will leave an impression on you, it's what kind of mark you'll leave on it. Ready to write your chapter in Ontario's endless story?